talk to him about the no.
I think this is one of my favorite scenes in the entire film. Just seeing the way these guys interact before and after the fights, it really lets you into the fact that it's just a sport like any other.
I mean, it's absolutely, this is how these guys are together. I mean, in very few occasions have we seen that two fighters are not hugging and shaking hands after the fight.
Only if they're Brazilian.
Then they step on each other.
Yeah, they don't get along too well.
Yeah, some grudges are held longer when you have sort of warring factions. But most of these guys are professionals, and most of these guys are fighting each other because there's prize money. That's the only reason. They have no anger towards each other. They actually have to manufacture anger because they really have no problem with each other.
Special service. See, and you don't have any strong pain medication?
We should talk about this point, too, because this was really the depths of the worst it got with Mark was during this period of time where it's kind of confusing and you can't really figure out the whole story even if I tell it, but there were points in here where he was trying to get off drugs before going to rehab, and it wasn't working, and we were spending just time alone, us and him, and really watching this guy unravel and constantly saying to each other, you know, we got to do something here. What are we going to do? It really...
Like in this shot, for instance, he's actually detoxing from drugs unsuccessfully. He was trying to detox, but we were sort of trying to babysit him, and it was actually a total nightmare. I love the audio quality of this scene. Two guys in a big empty gym. And
different than a gym, though. A wrestling room is different than a gym.
But this is and that's a big wrestling room, huh?
Yeah, that's a big room. But it's matted walls, so the smell and the sound are so different than, I don't know, it's
just that echo.
Wrestling. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, these guys, both Randleman and Coleman were NCAA champs.
And at this point that we're filming right here, Randleman is the UFC champ.
Yeah.
He was training for...
He was training for his fight against Hizzo.
To fight Hizzo, yeah. Okay, so here we're going to talk about, that is Mark Bateman right there. And a lot of people ask me about this scene. Was it set up? Was it not? The truth is, I was with Mark Kerr, and, you know, I knew that he was in big-time trouble. I mean, his life was in jeopardy, and I called these two guys who we all went to college with, who were his two best friends, and said, hey, your buddy's in trouble. You know, so they immediately got plane tickets. They flew from New York, and they came and they spoke to him.
I think every documentary has its different way they're going to handle how intrusive you're going to be.
Well, I mean, and I think the interesting part about that is not even necessarily that it's intrusive. It's just, you know, even if you're shooting the documentary, you are a part of it.
Right. I mean, we were a part of his life. We were actually the only people around him dealing with him at that moment. But there are other documentaries where, I mean, I definitely see documentaries, you know, Academy Award nominated documentaries where they'll show a guy walking down the hallway, knock on a door, and the next shot will be inside the room, someone answering the door. So obviously it's been set up. The whole thing has been planned out. And nothing against that, but that was... I think we decided early on...
We never did that.
The way we're going to do it is we're just going to kind of follow the action and cover it. Everything will be constructed from that. That said, there's massive manipulation when you take an interview from someone and construct sentences with their words. But hopefully you're getting at the greater, broader truth of the whole thing. It's just you don't
Your
have
own truth.
There you go. You don't have. It is your own truth. It is our experience. It's our story of spending a year with Mark.
And you know what? That makes me want to go into Dawn right here, because she got kind of a rough representation here, I really believe, because this is the time period that we covered, and this is what was going on at this time. But the reality of the situation is, obviously, you know, she's been with Mark for a long time, and she's put up with a whole lot of shit, too.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the thing about Dawn is that, you know, Dawn, absolutely, she was a nice person. We all got along with her. But I think what I could objectively say is that the two of them were really poisonous for each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's the classic textbook AA enabler story.
Yeah, it was the codependency relationship. And no, of course, she's not the only guilty party. Mark was just as guilty in that as her.
Right, but like within the context of our film, we had to stick straight to our story. We weren't really able to give you, you know, her perspective on it didn't come out as much as.
And as you say, in a movie, in a documentary, just like any movie, people fill roles. And Dawn filled the role of the antagonist, and it was. We did not force her into that role, and we didn't manipulate that role. However,
There's no acting there.
No, it's not. And the point being that Dawn represented what was going wrong in Mark's life.
Well, yeah, and because Mark put her in that representation. It
Absolutely.
was like the second his life started getting screwed up, the first thing he would do would be to latch back onto her.
That's the thing. So as a viewer, you could look at that, and later in the film, everyone does. When she comes back in the picture, they view that as trouble. It's a sign of weakness on his part, and it's a sign that he maybe isn't so steady on his road to recovery.
And Dawn came to our HBO premiere, and I thought that was pretty big of her. She came and sat in a theater full of people and watched the movie.
And I would even let it be known that Dawn now is, from everything I know and last time I saw her, she's been sober for, I think, a year's time. I mean,
Yep, she's doing really well.
She's cleaned up her act. So, you know, this represents a pretty fucked up part in a period of both their lives. And that's the movie we have.
Days of my abs.